Alright, so iOS 14 came out. I got 4 hours of sleep last night. I went wild with customizing everything, made some designs for you guys that I'm posting for free on my website. I'm just really digging it and excited about this update, so I figured I would show you guys and maybe it'll give you some ideas. So I'll have everything I'm talking about and referencing in today's video linked down below in the description box, but if you're new here, my name's Taylor. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, kind of a mix of beauty, lifestyle videos, whatever I'm feeling like really. But if you enjoy, you can subscribe if you want to stick around. All right, let's start screen recording. So I actually wasn't planning on doing this video when I started doing all this. I didn't know how much I was gonna get into this or how much fun I was gonna have. So I didn't get a before shot of what my phone looked like before the update, unfortunately, but basically it's probably what most of ours looked like, which it was just pages and pages of apps everywhere. So it's much more clean, aesthetically pleasing, and just organized now. So right now on my phone for the lock screen, I'm into just like the minimal black-white iPhone background, but I do have a tan version of this available. I have collages on my website that you can download, and there's other options on there. There's some fall ones. So here's what it looks like with the fall collage. Because I integrated this image into some of the widgets that I'm going to use, I didn't want to use it for my lock screen too, but you totally could if you want it on both, or if you just want to use it for your lock screen, yeah, do you. If you haven't updated your phone yet, what you're going to want to do is go into your settings, hit general, and then go to software update. And obviously I've already updated. Mine only took about 20 minutes. So the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out kind of your overall color scheme. So for me, I really like clean, just minimal kind of black, white, obviously, and tans. Let me give you kind of an overview as I scroll. So here's my second screen right here, third screen, fourth screen, and then this is the app library. So this is new within the iOS 14, which is really nice because here you have all of your other apps here that don't have to be chilling on all of your screens, and then you can search, you know, like you could before. So again, here's a little overview. Well, I've only taken 26 steps. Okay, well my phone's been sitting on my table, so don't judge me. As you can see at the bottom, there's black icons. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the background I made is a split screen, black, white, and it says falls in full force. And then I also have one that's not fall themed if you don't want to do that, or you're watching this in the future and it's not fall when you're seeing this video. So those are also both linked down below to download. But I like the way that the black and the white kind of splits it up and almost makes it look like it's a widget just within the background a little bit, and just kind of creates like more division and cleans it up a little bit. So once you know what kind of like colors you're going with, you'll want to go through your apps and organize everything. That actually took the longest for me. So for me on my main screen, these are the ones that I feel like I need to see. So it's the same thing as before. In order to get rid of an app, what you're gonna do is press and hold. Now you'll have the option though, when you click remove app, it's going to give you the option to just remove it from the home screen. And when you click remove from home screen, it'll just move it to your app library. So it's not going to completely delete the app, it'll just move it to your app library, which is really nice. Same thing as before, if you want to move it into a folder, you'll just drag it over into that folder. It's kind of tricky with the pages sometimes to move around the apps afterwards. So it might be easier to kind of sketch out the pages. Like for example, as you can see on this last page, I have a food theme happening because I love food and I use delivery apps very frequently. I have a food Instagram, it's Seattle Foodscapades. So those are all of my photos right there. It's just a screenshot. But if you want to plan out something like that, or maybe you have the opposite of a food account, maybe you have a workout page. So maybe you want to plan that out ahead of time, you know, and sketch out on paper what you want it to look like. So then you can kind of figure out what images you might want to put there and what kind of widgets you want there, or what kind of apps you want there. Okay, so how to actually get these widgets that you're seeing. So the app that you're going to need is called Widgetsmith. So just go to the App Store, download the app called Widgetsmith, and we're going to open it. So let's just type in Widgetsmith. As you can see, I have all of my widgets created here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's just do a, fake one here so I can show you how to actually do it. So let's add a medium widget and just recreate that calendar one that I have on the first page. So we're going to do add medium widget. As you can see, it did medium 4. It's going to say medium 1 when you do it, since it'll be your first one. And this app isn't super intuitive. It's kind of weird. So once it adds it there, you're going to click on it. What you're going to do is click on it again, and then it'll bring you to these options. So you're going to have a bunch of different options here, and you can just choose whichever one you like the look of. And this is also how you get any of the photos. So as you can see here, you have photos and album, or you have the photo option right here. We're going to do that a little bit after, but just for the clock so I can show you, let's do the month and date one right here. So I'm going to switch that. You can choose the font right after. So I like the New York font. And then you can change the color of everything. So it might be easier to first change the background color just because the text color will show up easier. So hit background color, and then you have a bunch of options here. They have colors, so if you're more, oh, I actually didn't even see that brown one. I like that. If you're doing like a real fall theme, that brown or the dark orange would be really cute. I like the grays too, but you have a ton of colors here. You have border options. There's a lot of different options here. Let's just do the brown. Hit the tint color, and then you'll be able to adjust the font right there. Hit back right there, and then hit save. You are good to go within the widget app. So then in order to actually add it to your, iPhone, what you'll have to do is go on the page that you want to add it. So let's just say, I think I have room right here. Yeah, maybe. You'll have to find a spot where there's enough room. Obviously I'm not actually adding it right now. I'm just trying to show you guys, but I think I have room below these food apps right here. Long press so that you get the shaking of the apps. Then in the top left, you'll see the plus button. So you're going to hit the plus, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see the Widgetsmith app. And then again, this is kind of a weird way to do this, but what you're going to do is scroll until you find the size of the one that you just added. So now you're going to hit add widget, and it might not be the correct looking one if you've created a few. That's okay. I'll show you what to do. So we're going to hit add widget. It's not the right one because I've created a few. Hit done. And then we're going to long press again on that same widget. Hit edit widget. Again, it's weird. It doesn't show up right. Hit medium one. And then within here, it'll give you the option to hit the one that we just created, which I think was just, yeah, medium 4. So now we have the brown correct one right there. So that's how you do it. And that's how you do it for any of the sizes. So it kind of takes a few to get used to it, but once you do a few, you can do it really quickly. So I'm just going to delete that because obviously there's not enough space on that screen, so it just deleted my apps that I had there. So I'm just going to hit remove widget and hope my apps pop right back up. There we go. So that was the calendar. As you can see on the rest of the screens, I have photos added here. So these were all still in Widgetsmith, and there is no way to remove the Widgetsmith word under these photos. Maybe in the pro version if you buy it. I really like that there's the step count. However, I've been standing here. I don't know how it's gone up from 23 to 57 since I've been standing, but okay. So in order to do this, you just go through the same exact steps. You just select the size that you want, select photo instead. So I'm going to hit the one that I just did. But I just hit small and then photo and selected the photo that I wanted. Same exact steps as the other ones. So you can just go through. And for these other photos right here, I just pulled photos from Google that I wanted. The fall leaves photo is one that I took myself. And then these two photos that you see right here under medium 2 and medium 4, I made both of those. So I'll have both of those on my website for you guys to download. The thing that I figured out is that within Widgetsmith, you can't resize. So you can't drag where you want it to frame the photo. So what you want to do is crop the photo ahead of time. I've already done that for you guys if you want it to look exactly like this. But if you found another image that you want to use or another collage or whatever, you want to kind of just look at the shape of that and try and crop it in the exact spot. Go a little bit big just in case. So in my photos right now, I have this image right here. And this is just taken, like I said, from my sweater weather background right here that I made, and it's just cropped in this one area, and then use that image within Widgetsmith. This is another one that I made this on my website, so again, you could like crop certain parts of this if you wanted to use it. You can get creative with Widgetsmith, which is what's really cool, and I would kind of screenshot. You can save your different kind of layouts, and if you ever want to switch back to one, you don't have to try and remember. You just kind of save it to a folder so you have different ideas. One thing I wish you could do is have more size options for the widgets. Like I would like to have one to the right of the Pura app where I could just have like a tiny bar, because you'll kind of notice as you start to play around with the app placement, but you can't keep the widgets in a certain spot if you don't have an app to fill that spot, if that makes sense. And then for the last screen here for the food image, this is just the large size. So this is what the large size looks like. These aren't all of my food apps, but these are just my most used ones. I did look in the app store and just search widget to see if there were any other kind of options besides Widgetsmith, and there is this one called Color Widgets, and it got 30,000 reviews, so I think it's been out for longer than Widgetsmith, and it seems to be just a little bit of a different style, kind of more bubbly fonts and brighter colors. So if Widgetsmith doesn't seem to be your kind of vibe, then you might like Color Widgets better. And then there's also Photo Widgets, which seems to be just kind of like stock images of travel photos. Maybe they have other kind of photos. Seems like it kind of just rotates through travel photos. So that's pretty cool. And then there are other widget apps like this motivation one that gives you daily quotes, which is cool if you're into quotes. There's a jumping dino widget. I'm guessing now with this new update available for Apple, it's only time until there's, you know, hundreds of widget apps available for iOS. So I think we'll just have way more options in the next few months to a year here. All right, so now let's talk about how I was able to make my app covers at the bottom that you see here black. So as you can see, some of my other apps are black too. The Instagram one and podcast app I made black. Any of the ones that were just like blindingly rainbow or just like hideous in my opinion, like just too colored, I just kind of made more toned down to kind of go with the whole theme. I don't mind like the greens and reds in the Google Maps one, but just the ones that were like too ugly, I just toned down. So the way you do this is kind of janky, and I'll show you what I mean before I actually go through the little mini tutorial here. I'm gonna open my Safari app down here in the bottom. And as you can see, it opens the shortcut first and then it goes to Google. And I'm actually gonna fix this one because as you can see, I'm Googling google.com, which is not necessary. But now let me show you, I don't really wanna open my mail or messages because I'm just gonna have to blur it on the, I guess I could block it out on the screen. Okay, so let me open my messages. It goes to shortcuts and then it goes to messages. So basically what you're doing is creating a shortcut for opening what you wanna open. And that's the only way to change the cover for the app currently. So when I open Instagram, for example, I'm opening the shortcut and then I'm opening Instagram right now, instead of traditionally just opening Instagram and then it goes straight to Instagram quicker. So basically you're adding like a step in between opening the actual app. So if it's something that you want to open really quickly, like for me, I want to open photos really quickly because that's something that I open 50,000 times a day just with what I do. Photos, I didn't want to add a shortcut. Podcasts, I don't really care about. So things that you really want to open fast and you need quick access to, I probably wouldn't do this for unless you really don't care. Like my work emails through Outlook, but then my personal email is through the one on the bottom. So my work email, I don't want to do that for. And as you can see, I didn't do it for any of my other apps on this screen. I didn't want to go too wild with this. You could do it for all of your apps that you're having showing. You could also not use the actual app icon. Some people just use whatever images they want. Like you could use, you know, just an image of a tree, some pretty image that you find on Google or Pinterest, whatever you want. I think for me, it might be kind of hard to see what's what if I did that. But if you just want like a really Tumblr aesthetic looking phone, then you could totally do that. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so in order to do this, what you're going to do is open the Shortcuts app. This is already on your phone. You don't need to download it. Depending on what screen it opens to, hit All Shortcuts. You're going to hit the plus sign and then hit Add Action. Type in Open App, and then under Actions, hit the Open App. And then you're going to type in whatever app you want to actually open with this shortcut. So whatever you're trying to do. So I'm going to do the Safari one. So now we have the actual action that we're doing. So now you're going to hit the three dots. So now you're going to name it, hit Add to Home Screen, rename it again. This is what it's going to actually show up on your home screen. So, you know, if you want to do anything cute, you could like do this kind of thing, whatever you want to do, you know. I'm just doing that. And then this is where you're going to choose the image. So click to the left of where you just named it, hit choose photo. You're going to choose the actual images. So I just pulled this from Google. Whatever you use, try and find a PNG. So I just typed in like black Safari image, PNG, app icon, and something like that. And I just saved that. You could zoom in if you wanted more zoom in. I'm just going to go about there, choose. Oh, it's pink because it's not zoomed in enough. So if it does that, do it again. Zoom in more, make sure it's centered. Okay, so now it says added to home screen and we are done. It says I already have one because I do. Okay, so now because this one is the wrong one, just the way I shortcutted it, I'm going to delete that one, delete, and I'm going to drag this one down. That's that. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty quick. If you were doing it for all of your apps, it might take a while. And I think that is everything. So I will have everything that I talked about linked down below, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, you can give this a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. If you use any of the graphics or if you do something totally different, whatever it is, definitely tag me in your photos on Instagram, screenshot your backgrounds or whatever so I can see it. I'm curious how you guys arrange everything and design it. It's super fun. If you're just watching your Netflix at night, it's a fun thing to do. Do some widgeting, you know? But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.